Well, evening, how you all doing? Dan here from Dan's Tool Room. Right, so today I'm going to do a review on some of my other tools. Now, you know I work as a service engineer for a fire alarm company and intruder company. If anyone has watched my videos before, you will know that. Now, I normally show you my main tool bag I use for servicing and things, but as you know, I've been trying to whittle down what I actually use for my tools recently. Now, I do have a lot of other tools, which I don't tend to show you, but I'm going to show you those today, and I'm going to go through them quite quickly. The reason I'm going to go through them quite quickly is most of these tools in this bag here are company issue tools. Okay, the company I work for is really good, it's really generous, it gives you lots of different tools, but obviously I'm not quite as interested in them as I am in my own tools. I'll show you the uses for them and what they are. Some of these are my tools, not many of them, but some of them are, and they're just kind of like all the tools I can't carry around in my normal tool bag. Now, I've actually got 3 tool bags to show you here, so for obvious reasons I am going to go through them quite quickly, and I'm not necessarily going to pull them all out, I'm just going to show you. Okay, so this is a company issue tool bag as well. This is a Stanley Fatmax tool bag. Quite cool, nice and roomy. It's you can tell it's more of a budget bag because, I mean, if you just look at the side, I mean, just everything, just the pockets are just too big. Everything falls about, nothing, you know, I mean, inside a lot of that stuff's actually in pockets, so it's not great. So I've gone the side, so I've got again, company issue stuff. I've got a Magnuson very long needle nose pliers. I've never used them. We've got a selection of crimpers here. This one's mine. It's just like a cheap Maplin one, and that's for like Ethernet cables and things like that. We've got another company issue one here. I've never really used that. Another type of crimper, and this one again is mine as well. Again, that I had that given me, and I'm not entirely sure what that's for, if I'm honest. It's certainly nothing I really work with, so it just kind of sits in there. Coolest tool they give me, company issue set of Nipex 160 side cutters. So they're pretty cool. I like them. I do use them. They normally stay in my tool bag. I've got my own set as well, which are a sort of more worn out version of them, which I've shown you before. A Stanley Fatmax plasterboard saw, or jab saw, whatever you want to call it. That's pretty nice. Again, the company supplied that for me, which is really cool. So it's certainly nicer than the $2.99 jab saw that I bought for myself from Screwfix. SWA crimpers and cutters, cable strippers. You know, it's the only one I've got, so I do use it. Well, I have got another one on the back actually, but this one's a bit better. This is my company issue one. And what they do, they kind of give us a float so we can go and buy our own tools, and as long as it's within reason, they let you have them. So this is one I picked up. Tin snips, just a really cheap pair this is. I think these were literally about £3. I picked them up. All I use this for is if like I'm trying to feed a cable through some catenary in a ceiling, I'll chop a bit out to do that. So these are literally really cheap ones. I don't use them very often at all. So yeah, it's really not worth me getting a set of Nipex ones or something. That's never going to happen. I'm never going to spend any money on them, he says, until he comes along for bargain. So I've got a very scruffy looking Stanley paintbrush, more of a dusty brush, which I've shoved in there. As you can see, he's got quite a hairstyle now. So that. When I come across stuff that's mine, I'll tell you it's mine. Torch, little company issue torch. So yeah, LED torch, that's pretty cool. These are mine. These are some ye old cable strippers, adjustable cable strippers. As you've seen in my bag, I've got an NWS set, which I use normally for work, but yeah, they're pretty cool. That's just a set of DeWalt Posi 2s, which came with a drill set, which the company provided me with. So yeah, I don't think they've ever been opened either. Stanley stud chaser, goes nicely with my bag, a lot of nice stuff in here. So I've got that. In this pocket here, we just keep, I've got a head torch, I've got 2 of these, company issue again. They are really generous where they actually provide you, the company. So company issue head torch, and I've got one actually in my little service tote, in my little service roll as well. Keep some tape in here when I need it. So what I'll tend to do, if I'm doing a bit of an install, I might sort of grab this bag and this bag. So they're all in bags, so I might end up carrying a fair few bags in. But you know, I'm not sort of carrying loads of stuff around town or whatever, you know. So, so these I'd like to be Nifx Cobras, but they're not. These are mine. These are some DeWalt grips. I think I got these free actually, but they've got the quick release things here, so you can just open them up like that. I mean, I use these for servicing. I've just started to learn to service gate automation. So we use these to tighten the bolts on the gates, or raise them up, lower them down. So I'd really like these in my tool wrap really, but they're a bit big and I can't really fit them in. This is my personal cable strippers. Not quite as good as the other one. Just little wire strippers and crimpers. I don't really use them as strippers. I use my, you know, I'll use side cutters or whatever for that. But there we go. There's them. Now, I don't mean to boast, but I have some hand sanitizer. That's mine, that is. I bought that myself, and yeah, no company issue there. That's a bit extravagant for them, so I do keep my hand sanitizer. You work in some manky places. We work at like a chicken factory and stuff, so it's nice to have a bit of sanitizer as well. It just makes you feel a bit cleaner. Inside the bag, here there are a massive selection of screwdrivers. Now these are all company issue screwdrivers. We've got the Weeha set here, which are quite nice. We've got a sort of standard Weera set. This is the sort of entry-level craft form set. So they come in all different sizes there. I'm not going to pull them all out because I think you've seen them before, and I have actually done a review video on the Weera, the entry-level Weeras, if you're interested in seeing them. Little punch downs tool for internet cable and phone cables. Don't come across that very often, but sometimes on an intruder alarm they do when I'm connected to a phone line, so you need a punch down tool for the little 50 volt lines. Sort of little prize bar, useful, like, you know, I use that sometimes for pulling, like, what would I use this for? Trunking, plastic trunking, just to get underneath it if it's going to be stiff and hard, if people painted over it. It's good to wedge that off. And you met this guy before, good old Bashy driver. He lives in this thing as well. He's been demoted. What else have we got in here? Trunking tool. So this is actually an Aldi's own make one. This is, I think it's a Works own one. So I've got it on the bottom. So yeah, you just press that button there, click it out, and you put the trunking inside, and you can ratchet it down, and it'll cut through your trunking for you with ease. So yeah, it's not a bad little tool actually. I use it all the time, and I've never had any real problems with it. Company issue level. Still in this packaging, as you can see I don't really use that one. One of my tools, I've got a 8 meter Stanley tape measure. That is what it is. And we've got the company issue one, the bison tape. I did a comparison with that before, I think, when I showed you my Ox one, which is one of my other tool bags. I thought that was quite funny, the bison tape. A bit of a copy of the Ox one. I've shown you this before. It's in my little Pros kit. That lives in here now because there he is. I haven't really got room to keep it in my service kit, although I'd like it to be, because I do like that. It's a really useful little thing, that is. Just have a look. Switch to me right hand. Right, we have this. It's a bendy magnet. Useful if you drop something off a ladder when you're up there. Normally, though, I don't have this on the ladder with me, so I'd kind of have to get down from the ladder to get this, then to get my screw. So it's kind of completely pointless, but here we are. It has a use. That's mine, by the way. Draper, and yeah, this one's a Draper Expert one. Draper Expert do some decent tools actually for sort of a budget. If you're looking for a budget stuff, if you don't need particularly expensive things, they do a decent set of tools. Martindale proving kit. So that's if you're working with electrics, emergency lights and stuff, just to prove that the power source is dead. So that's a company issue. That's a nice little tool. Quite pleased with that. That stays in there. There's my £2 jab saw. So as you can see, the company issue one is very superior on that. That's a tried and tested brand, and that's actually the make. This little tool, cheap as they come, but very useful. I'm not even sure what it's called, but it's for doing angles. So basically, you can move this to whatever angle you like, and like say you're cutting trunking or something, you can sort of put it against the wall and put the angle on there, lock it in place, and then neatly sort of mark out your trunking so it looks tidy and nice. So that's mine. I've got an Elora spanner, which is attached to the end of my magnetic bit for the end of my impact driver. I've got an Elora spanner. This is mine. This is a 17 and 19. I've talked about this before. Expensive spanners, these German made spanners. They are expensive, and they got this one in a sort of mix-up box in a charity shop for 50p. So obviously they didn't know what that was, but you can pay about 30 quid a spanner for these in some cases. I don't know if this one is that expensive, but they can be sort of snap-on price, so that's quite pleased with that. My scissors. I've replaced this with the CK ones now, but this was my homemade VDE IKEA scissors. It's really not, as I said before. Speaking of scissors, that's a little case for my CK scissors, which doesn't really fit. And that is pretty much it for this little case. So yeah, it's just a load of stuff that I can't really fit into my servicing kit, and obviously I wouldn't want to be carrying all that around. But this bag, it looks nice, it really does, but it's not very good. I mean, look, everything's just too loose. It all just falls about. There's no stiffness in the bag whatsoever. It's got a zip on it, so it keeps things out of the rain. But I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan at all. Right, okay. Let's put that to one side. I'll just pause the video. Right, I have two of these Stanley tool totes. This is the most boring one. There's nothing very interesting here at all. This is sort of miscellaneous junk. So I got a drop forged adjustable spanner there. My own saw, big saw, in case I need one. Sometimes you need a bit of backing board for something. Heavy duty wipes. Old DeWalt drill has been replaced. I've got the batteries for it. It works, but the chuck's kind of gone on that, so I just kind of chuck it in here out the way. Cable ties. It looks like I need to get some more. That's just the bag for my ACT kit. Keep the handle, should be in my other bag of this wheel really, so I'll put this to one side. It's the handle for my drill. We'll see that in a minute. Again, this is all company issue stuff apart from my saw, which I just showed you there. Got some fuses, section of fuses. That shouldn't really be in here. That should be loose in the van somewhere on one of the shelves. Company issue hacksaw, Magnuson make. I think a Screwfix own make. So this is why I like to use my own tools more, because they're just a slightly nicer quality one. Got a selection of wire brushes, and they always cut me and hurt me, and I don't like them because they're nasty sharp things. Big fat heavy mallet. This is more for extinguishers, but I don't carry this around in my extinguisher bag because it's for whacking the tops of extinguishers. We don't tend to sort of revamp the extinguishers now, we just replace them. So that's what that's for anyway. So butt phone. This is to check if your phone line's working. So if the internet's down for any reason, or you're in my case, the communication for the alarm systems, if that's down, then you can plug this in and check if it's the phone line, and it kind of works as a fake phone. So you can just prove it's not you, it's the phone company, really. It's a bit of a get out of jail card. But really rarely use it. I Again, another fire extinguisher spanner. Sorry, another thing we don't really use on fire extinguishers, but it's there if we ever need it. I'm trained to do it if I need to, and that sort of takes the top off older fire extinguishers. Little hacksaw. Again, fire extinguisher spanner, different sizes, that one. So these are the tools I really rarely use. These are. We got a 24mm spanner. The company's given me that, an Eastman spanner. I'm not really sure why they give me that. I don't really know what that's for, but thanks. This is just a little Oakley glasses bag full of choc blocks or connectors, whatever you want to call them. Got some fronts for fire alarm MCPs. Just handy to keep. Big brush for dusting things off. Ear defenders. Stanley blades. These are for my knife in my service kit, so they just kind of stay in there. And again, some oil, which I use for my tools, a bit of lubricant for my tools when they get a bit dry. So my hand tools. So that's it for that one. So the next one's a bit more interesting. I'll just pose this while I put this stuff back. I'll pause it, put the stuff back, and I'll get the next bag for you. Right, now again, exactly the same bag. This is exactly the same bag as the other one, but this is, again, nearly all company issue stuff. And the bags themselves are company issue, I think I mentioned that. Some of this stuff is mine. I'll tell you what's mine when I get to it. As we go through, but I'll just point these things out to you. Right, so in the front pocket here, I've got various drill bits. Do you know what? Some of them are mine, some of them aren't. I've lost track of what's mine and what isn't now, if I'm honest with them. This is my little putty knife. This is my personal one. This is an E.H. Smith own brand special, £2 odd, but it's a putty knife. Why would you pay a lot of money for it? This is just like if I make a hole in the wrong place, just so I can fill it and tidy it up. This is mine. This has appeared. This used to appear as one of my main tools in my service kit. As I said before, I work mainly as a service engineer, so that's one way. But you know, I've never used it. I bought it because it was cheap. I've never used it, so I just kind of stick it in my drill bag. This is mine. Little Stanley pen, little Stanley marker. Company do buy those to me. A set of Magnuson files. Again, a lot of these are new. I don't do a lot of install, so but we do it sometimes in there if we need it. And I normally will use these. I'll normally go to this one here. You know, if we do the knockouts on a new fire alarm box, install a new panel or something, and it's metal or a power supply or something, and we just need to smooth them around before we put the 20mm rubber sleeve in it, just so it doesn't cut any cables or anything like that. These are mine. Milwaukee Shockwave set of impact bits. Not as good as you might think. I've snapped a fair few of these actually. Like you see, I've snapped that drill there. I've snapped a couple of the bits in here, so when they're missing it means I've snapped them. But yeah, you know, I used to use that quite often. So that's mine. That's my personal one. That's my Milwaukee Shockwave kit. Should really leave that at home, really. This is my Makita. This is the sort of leverage handle for my drill, for my combination drill. I haven't used that yet. Haven't really needed to, but there if I want it. Some Irwin spade heads. Again, now I think these are company issue, but I can't remember whether I ever claimed it back. So whether these have become mine now, I'm not sure, but I can't remember whether I claimed that back or not. But because, like I said, we buy with our own money and we have a float and we claim it back. So I don't know whether I ever claimed that back or not. Company issue Stanley hammer. Now I don't want to boast, but I do have my own there. As you can see, it's a bit more well used. Yeah, so company issue Stanley hammer, 16-ounce hammer. Quite nice. These are mine. So the Verbauer impact rated bits. Again, same as what I got before. A set of Abrax metal drills. drill bits. Nice little set that is. That's mine. Mine again, I bought that one. Little DeWalt light, mine. I bought this. I do use it. I might get rid of it at some point because it's you know, I never bought the batteries for it. I just bought it to go with the batteries I already had, but they're going towards Makita now. I still have an SDS DeWalt, I'll show you in a minute though, which I still use, so I guess when I have to send the SDS back, the batteries will go for that, so then I'll probably just sell that. Just got my DeWalt batteries in there. I have my Makita drill here. It is the DHP 458 Makita, so that's a nice little drill. Very heavy, but does the job really well. It's a good drill, that. Really pleased with that. Metal chuck. Yeah, it's what you need really. 5 amp battery, but it is heavy. Even without the 5 amp battery, it's quite a heavy drill. And what came in that set as well is my little impact driver, Makita impact driver. That's a great little tool as well. I had my own DeWalt one again, which I bought with the batteries, but that's on eBay now because I don't use it. That's my little Makita one. Really good little tool there. I use that quite a lot whenever I can, really. Again, this is something I'd like to keep in a service bag, but it's just a case of you just can't keep carrying all this stuff around. You'll just break your back. But yeah, so this is the Makita. So I have got another battery as well, but it's in my vacuum cleaner. I've done a whole video on the vacuum cleaner, so I'm not gonna. Again, that's company issue vacuum cleaner. I'm not gonna do that. Show you the vacuum cleaner again because it's in the van. It's staying there. And if you want to see that, check out my video on the vacuum cleaner. I think I entitled it cleverly, I must say, as Does It Suck? A set of Bosch SDS's, they're mine. Got these for 10 quid in B&Q because someone had spilled paint all over the box. So I was like, well, I don't care about that. So yeah, should be about 30 quid I think. So got them cheap, third the price. Little set of drywall bits. Don't really know what I've got them in there for. You've been seeing it in the background. DeWalt SDS. That's a good drill, that is. I really like that. I've got some really long bits for it in the van as well. It's a really good drill, that. In fact, I have to use this at home quite a lot because if the company didn't provide me one, I'd have to buy my own because the walls are so hard in my house that I have to use the SDS to drill through them. So that's yourself. This is just a drill size sort of guide, just tells you what size your drill bits are. Not really is. In here, I'll show you this. Let me just pause it while I open it a sec because I'm working with one hand. Here we go. Right, some of these drill bits are mine, some of them are the company's. I've somehow ended up with three different sort of step drills. That's the Bosch Change Plus system. So it's sort of the company have provided me that. And that you sort of it's great because it's quick release, so you don't have to do up any like Allen key screws or anything like that. So that's really useful. I'm hoping I might buy that from them when I actually leave. Well, if I leave, I'm not planning on going anyway soon. If any of my colleagues are watching this, I'm just saying, you know, you can't guarantee you're going to stay somewhere forever. So if I ever left, I'd try and buy that price. That's the old one I had. You see, it's got the sort of Allen key thing in there. Yeah, that's a 20mm one, and I can't remember the make of that. It's just wiped off, but it was quite a decent make. But that's what it's for. Got a couple of tile drills in here of various sizes because we do work at a lot of leisure centres. So a lot of the times we work in steam rooms, wet rooms, and we have to drill through tiles if we're installing something. And I've spilled them everywhere. Okay, we'll pick that up after the video. Yeah. All that's left is what I've got on the side here. So again, little company expandable, extendable magnet there with a little torch on the end. So that's featured in other videos. It used to be in my tool bag when it was bigger, but now it's been chucked out. Some Marksmans. Again, they are for if you've got a deep hole, you can just spray and they'll leave a chalky mark in there. One's for really deep, one's for quite deep.